Hello everyone, Dan Calloway coming at you again today, and today what I want to talk about is a subject that not a lot of people know about. It's a converter for Office documents in open source software, either LibreOffice or OpenOffice.org applications that allow you to convert files from one format to another that are convertible within those applications, except the difference being you can make those conversions at the command line instead of within the application itself. Having said that, you will need to make sure when you do use this particular utility I'm going to introduce you to that you have LibreOffice, or if you're using OpenOffice, that you have it closed when you use it. If you have it open, you're going to get warning messages and it's going to fail on you, so make sure it's closed. Second thing is that in making these conversions, say from an ODT formatted file to say an ODG, which is a OpenOffice or LibreOffice rather draw file format, the conversion will make fine. It'll be just fine. However, the reverse engineering of that may or may not render properly. You may lose some of the formatting, so it's not entirely reverse engineerable in that respect. So, but conversion from one to another, as long as the application in the GUI is able to convert the file from one format to another that you desire, you should not have an issue. Now, where the utility comes in handy is A, you're going to do it from the command line, so it can be scripted, and B, you can do a lot of files all at one time, which you can't do from the GUI. In the GUI, you'd have to open each individual file, reformat the file, save it as another file format, close it, and it saves the file out, and then you'd have to open the second one. And if you had hundreds of files, you can imagine that would be very labor intensive. So this is where this particular utility comes in handy. And the last thing that I need to caution you about with the use of this utility is that you cannot, and I may have mentioned this already, but I'll reinforce it, you cannot make a conversion from one file format to another that is not doable within the GUI. It has to be doable. There has to be a filter in the application, LibreOffice or OpenOffice, to make that file format conversion possible, because it depends upon both of those, or either one of those applications, to make its conversion at the command line. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm running Black Lab Enterprise Linux, which is a distro based on Kubuntu 16.04 long-term service. It is an enterprise level operating system distribution of Linux, and I really like it. It's really great. So I've got LibreOffice installed on my system here. Let me go ahead and pull it up and show you the version that I have installed, so that you can take a look at what you have or try to get the latest version. If I do a help about LibreOffice, it tells me that I have version 5.1.6.2 installed. Alright, so if you have something similar to that, you should be okay for the purposes of this demonstration. Alright, in setting up this demonstration, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go through various file formats, a couple of them, 3 or 4. I've set up a couple of different directories here. I've got a home directory, a documents directory under that, and then I have a sandbox directory that you're looking at right here. I have a sandbox2 subdirectory of documents as well. I have one document called federalist10.odt, which is a LibreOffice Writer document. Let me go ahead and open it. So let me just right click and open with LibreOffice Writer and show you what it looks like. Okay, and so it's got a cover page. These are Federalist papers, and I've got these in 2-column formatted. I've got 85 of these, and I'm going to have to be making conversions from ODT to PDF. So I can do that using this utility, and so that's going to make this process much faster for me. So this is Federalist 10. Alright, so let me go ahead and close it so you can see what that looks like. And alright, so let me go ahead and minimize this. Oh, and well, let me show you the sandbox too. I've got several of them. I've only got 4 of those out there, but I'll be doing the multiple file converting here shortly to show you how that process works. Okay, so I wanted to put it in its own separate directory. All right, so let me minimize that. All right, let's go out to the command line. Let me show you the utility that I'm talking about. And that utility is called UNOCONV. I think that stands for Unified Office Converter, but I'm not absolutely sure. And let me go ahead and type in the show switch here, so to show you the file formats that the conversion utility is able to handle. The ones that you see here are spreadsheet formats like CSV, ODS for Office, ODF spreadsheet file. Let's see, ODT or OTS rather, which is an ODF spreadsheet template file, and many, many more. It's even got XLT, XLSX, the Microsoft Excel. You can convert files from one into the XLSX file format as well using this utility. If you're going up the screen here are the list of presentation formats that are currently available for this application, or for this utility rather. Things like PPM, PPTX, PPS, ODG, OTP, etc. Those are all convertible. As long as the application, LibreOffice in my case, can make the conversion, has the filter available, then I could do it. The following list of graphics formats are currently available. So we've got a whole host of them here, including HTML, JPEG, PDF, which is what I'm going to be doing later, TIFF, okay, SWF, and then finally, if you're going up to the very top of this file, here's a list of document formats currently available. You can make conversions to .doc file, DOCX file, ODT to OTT, PDF, etc., etc., text file, etc. So it's a very robust utility. Again, though, you must be able to make the conversion in the GUI to do this. So let me go ahead and clear the screen. And let me run that command again, UNOCONV. And let me do a help on that so I can show you what we're looking at, what I'm going to be doing here. These are the options that are available. We're going to be using the F option, which is the format. And then using the F option, you specify the output format you want the file to have. So if you start out, for instance, with a .odt file, and you want to convert that to PDF, then you would use the F option and then specify the PDF is the format you want the output format to be. That's the only one I'm going to look at right now because for the purposes of this demonstration, we're just looking at conversion. But you can see there's a whole host of options available here. Alright, so let me clear the screen again. And let me get to the directory where I have the one file stored, the ODT file. And so let me change directory to Documents Sandbox. Okay, and let me do a listing of that file or that directory, and you can see that the Federalist 10.odt file is the one that's currently there. And so what I want to do is use the command to convert the ODT file to a PDF. Alright, so to do that, what I would do is run the UNOCONV and then the F option to tell it which file format to convert it to. I want to convert to a PDF, and then the file I want to convert is Federalist 10.odt. Alright, when I hit the enter key on the keyboard, it's going to actually convert the file, and it did it fairly quickly. And now I'm going to do a listing out with long human readable format, and you can see that I've got the original ODT file, and then I have the PDF file that was converted here. Now that's one of the things I need to also tell you about this utility. It does not eliminate the original file. All it does is convert the file and then place it out there as a second file in converted format. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do, let's open up that PDF, and I'm going to run a command at the command line here that do that. My PDF viewer on this system is Okular, OKULAR. So if I run an XDG open Federalist 10.pdf, it should open that file for us and bring it up on the screen in the GUI, and it does. Okay, and let me click on the thumbnail. You can see that we do have individual pages corresponding to the individual pages in the ODT file. Let me go ahead and get rid of the thumbnail and go to full screen and then scroll down, and you can see this is what the conversion looks like. And so it was extremely successful here. This is exactly what you would get if you converted this file, in the GUI in LibreOffice and made that conversion. So that was successful. Okay. All right. So let me go back, and now at the command line, let's take the original file federalist10.odt and let's convert it to another file format. Let's convert it to an HTML. All right. And so I'm going to use the UNO, the F option for file format. The outputted file format I want to use is HTML, and then the original file. Okay, now I'm going to expect that there's probably going to be some formatting issues here with the HTML. All right, which means the conversion was successful, but it's not going to be probably what we expect. And so let me make the change here, the conversion, and let me go ahead and list out the files again. You can see we now have an HTML file. And so I'm going to bring up that file, if I can remember the command here. I have Firefox installed. Firefox browser Federalist 10.html. And it should open up the Firefox web browser, hopefully, and present that Federalist 10. Let me go ahead and close that. Oops, I had it open and I closed it because I've got a separate file here. Let me clear the screen here and bring up that command again and open the file. Okay, this time I won't mess it up. Alright, so we're looking at the HTML file now as rendered from the conversion, and you can see we've got some issues. The cover page here is in the way on this image over here. If we didn't have that particular image, this would probably render really well, but it's squeezing it over to the right hand side, and so it's not too bad. I mean, there's some formatting issues, but it's not too bad at all. Of course, it's not paginated like it is in the ODT file or the PDF. Okay, and so not bad. Now, if we were to make the conversion back from this file to the ODT, you would not get what you were expecting to get. Okay, you would not get the original file in its original format. Just take my word for it. I've done it. All right, so let me go ahead and close this, and let me get the browser out of the way again. Okay, close. All right, now we're back to command line. Let me go ahead and clear the screen again, do another listing to see what we have. And now we still have the Federalist 10.odt. Let's do one more conversion. And let's do UNO, CONV, F option, and let's do an XML file. Now, I believe we can convert a ODT to an XML in LibreOffice, so we should be okay here. Let me do Federalist 10.odt, and let's hit that, and it made the conversion, it appears. And so if I do another listing, you can see that we do have a Federalist 10.xml. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just go out to LibreOffice and open the file this way rather than using command line. Okay, and so now I'm going to do open file, and let's open that XML file here. All right, and open. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Not too bad, actually. However, it looks like even though it's an XML file extension here, of course a lot of the formatting is gone, but you'll notice what it opened that XML file up in. It opened it in an Office template or application. It's in Writer here. Not quite sure it should be in Writer opening this file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back out to the GUI and I'm going to have it open up in the default application for XML files on the system and see what we get. We should probably get a web page rendered in XML if I had to guess. And that's exactly what we get. Okay, so what we have here now is Firefox is rendering this XML page as XML code, extensible markup language. This was what we really expected to see, to be honest. And so having it open in the default presenter for XML gives us the correct rendering here. Alright, so let's go back out. Let me close Firefox. And let me clear the screen again in the terminal. And now what I want to do is I want to change directory to Sandbox 2. Oops. Let's change directory to Documents and then change directory to, I think it's Sandbox 2. Yep. Let's do a listing, see what we got. CD Documents. I thought I called it Sandbox 2. Oh, it's under, I've got it as a subdirectory Sandbox. That's what it is. Alright, so let me change directory to Sandbox 2. And let me clear the screen again. And now let's do a listing of the files in there. And now we have the Federalist 10, 11, 12, and 9 ODT files in there. And what I want to show you next is how to go about converting these ODT files, for instance, to PDF, but converting them in mass instead of converting them one at a time. And so to do that, I'm going to use the command line utility UNOCONV to tell it the format to change it to is PDF. And instead of changing one at a time, giving a file name, I'm going to use a wildcard parameter, star.odt. So it's going to convert all of those to PDF format, hopefully. And so let's go ahead and hit the Enter key. So now it should be making the conversion of all 4 of those files. It's going to take a little longer. And now if I do another listing, you can see that we do have the PDFs intermixed. And so if I do another listing, and let's say let me grep for PDF, that's going to show you that these are the 4 PDF files that it converted to. So it made the conversion of all 4 of those all at one time, which, as I said earlier, can be scripted. And so this would be a great thing to script, or if you want to just do an en masse or a total conversion, you can do it that way. Let's pull up one of these and make sure that it's correct. So let's check. Let's do Federalist 9. .pdf, and let's see if we've got a correct rendering. It looks like we do. Get rid of the thumbnail and render to full screen. And so this is Inocular. It looks like it's fine. Okay, so this is a perfect rendering of the file, and we used the command line to do it. Okay, so this has been a demonstration of converting files from one format to another in OpenOffice.org or LibreOffice at the command line as opposed to in the GUI. And so it's a utility that I think the developers of LibreOffice and OpenOffice have hidden from us for whatever reason, but it's one that we can take advantage of, one that I recommend that you take advantage of as well. So thanks for watching, and leave me comments.